You finally book a call and they say yes, you got paid. And then the fear hits. Where do I start? How do I look professional? What if they ask for something I can't deliver? How do I communicate during the project without looking lost? What if I mess this up and they ask for a refund? So you do what everyone does, you wing it. You stay up until 2 a.m. because you have no system. You change the scope 6 times because you never defined done. You panic every time this is send a message because you don't have a communication plan. 3 weeks later, the project is complete. The client is fine, not thrilled, not referring you, just fine. And you are exhausted. If you are terrified of delivery, or if you've delivered 3 clients and it still feels like a chaos, this is for you. I'm going to show you how to turn delivery from panic into a system so clean that by client number 5, someone else is doing 80% of the work while you're selling the next one. This is week 5 of execution sprint, the productized layer. Let's go. And before we go further, if you want a system that helps you lock your first client offer and first market contact in 7 days, I built the 7-day market signal starter kit, hypothesis lock GPT, execution tracker, and decision day scoreboard. Link is in description. Grab it, some back, follow along, or just keep watching. Either way, let's go. Problem number 1, the delivery panic. Let me show you the first trap. You sold confidence, but now you are delivering panic. You told them you'd deliver in 2 weeks. But you have no plan, no checklist, no structure, just hope. Here's what it actually looks like when you try to wing delivery. You wake up the morning after they signed. You think, okay, I should probably ask for their brand assets, but you're not sure what assets you need. Logo, brand colors, access to their website, their social media passwords. You send a vague email. Hey, can you send me your brand stuff? A few days pass, still waiting for assets. You don't follow up because you don't want to look push. You are already second guessing yourself. Maybe they are busy. Maybe I'm being annoying. Meanwhile, you're not building anything because you told yourself you need everything before you start. Assets finally alive, but now you realize you never confirmed what done looks like. They sent you a logo, some images, and paragraph about their business. Is this everything? You're not sure. So you start building based on assumptions. About a week and a half in, you send a draft. You are proud of it. You stayed up until 1 a.m. finishing it. They respond, this is great, but can you also add a section for testimonials and maybe integrate it with our CRM or integrate it with our CRM? Oh, and we need mobile optimization for tablets specifically. Scope creepy. You didn't define what was included. You didn't get sign off on the plan. Now you're building features that weren't in the original conversation. The deadline hits. You're scrambling. The testimonial section isn't done. The CRM integration is half working. You send it anyway because you are out of time. And they say, this is good, but it's not quite what we discussed. 3 weeks later, finally done. 3 revisions later, you delivered everything they asked for, plus the new request, plus fixes for things you didn't catch the first time. You are burnt out. They are satisfied but not impressed. No referral, no testimonial, just a payment and silence. And I get it because I've been there. You think, I'm smart, I'll figure it out as I go. That feels flexible, that feels adaptive, that feels like you are being responsive to the client's needs. But here's the truth. You are not being flexible. You are hiding. You are hiding behind a custom because you don't have a system. You're hiding behind every client is different because you haven't mapped the common patterns. Winging it feels creative. Having a system feels robotic. Having a template feels like you are not giving them personalized attention. But winging it is why you are exhausted. Winging it is why every project feels like starting from zero. Winging it is why you can't predict how long anything will take. The math tells the story. Your first client takes 40 hours of actual work, but you spend 60 hours total because 20 hours and wasted figuring out what to do, when to do it, and how to communicate about it. Your second client still takes 35 hours of work. You are a bit faster because you've done this once, but you are still rebuilding the wheel because you didn't document what worked at last time. Your third client takes 38 hours because this client is in a different industry. You convince yourself the process is different, so you start fresh again. 6 months in, you've delivered 6 clients. You're still spending 35 to 40 hours per client. You're not improving. You're not getting faster. You're just repeating cows with slightly different details each time. The fix isn't working harder. The fix is installing structure before you start. Onboarding checklist and scope lock, communication plan, and deliver the phases. By your 50 client, deliver should take 15 hours. Not because you cut corners, not because you're delivering less, because you have a system that eliminates the guesswork, the back and forth, the scope creep, and the panic. Problem 2, the solo hero trap. You think you can do it all yourself. And for the first couple of clients, you can. You pull all-nighters. You grind, you ship, you deliver. But then what? Your third client comes in. You say yes because you need the money. You can't afford to say no yet. Now you're juggling sales calls for new leads because your pipeline can't stop. You're doing delivery for that third client because you are the only one who knows how. You're handling revisions for your previous clients because they came back with feedback. You are invoicing because bills need to get paid. And you are managing cows because every client emails you directly with questions. You are working 80 hours a week. Your calendar is full. You look busy. You feel busy. But your revenue is capped because there's only one of you. Here's what that week actually looks like. Monday morning, you close a new client on a sales call. Great. Now you need to onboard them. But your current client's delivery is due by the end of the week. You push the onboarding email to tomorrow. The next day, your previous client emailed, hey, can we add one small feature? It's not small. It's 4 hours of work. But you say yes because you don't want conflict. And Wednesday, you're finally building for your current client, but you were interrupted 6 times by Slack messages, emails, and a surprise call from the new client who just has a quick question. But it's not a quick, it's a 30 minutes. And Thursday hits panic mode. Your current client's deadline is tomorrow. You work until 2 a.m. Friday, you deliver, the client is happy, you are destroyed. And Saturday, you tell yourself you will take the weekend off. You don't. You are onboarding the new client because you are behind. Sunday, you're planning next week. You realized you have 3 active projects, 2 sales calls scheduled, and no time to do any of it well. This is the ceiling. I did this for 6 months. I told myself nobody can do this as well as I can. That felt like pride. That felt like craftsmanship. That felt like I was protecting quality, but it wasn't pride. It was fear. Fear that if I handled it off, it would break. Fear that the client would notice the difference. Fear that I'd spend more time managing someone than just doing it myself. So I stayed at the bottleneck and I was exhausted and my business couldn't grow past my hands. Here's the mess nobody talks about. You are charging $3,000 per client. You can deliver 3 clients per month max because you are doing everything yourself. That's $9,000 per month. Sounds decent, but you are working 60-hour weeks. That's 240 hours per month. You are making $37 per hour. That's less than a senior freelancer on Upwork. Now imagine you delegate 80% of technical delivery work to a 15 per hour freelancer. You are spending $1,800 per month on labor, about 120 hours of their time. But now you can take on 8 clients instead of 3 because you are only spending 10 hours per client instead of 40. Your revenue becomes $24,000 per month. Your labor cost is $1,800. Your net is $22,200. Your working hours drop to 80 total. Just 10 hours per client reviewing and managing quality. That's $277 per hour, and you are working less. You're not protecting quality. You are protecting your ceiling. The solution isn't hiring full-time. You don't need a $16,000 per year employee. The solution is building SOPs so clear that a 15 per hour freelancer from the Philippines or Eastern Europe can execute 80% of the work. Do it once, document it while you do it, hand it off. That's the system. So let me recap where you are. You are panicking through delivery with no structure. Every client feels like chaos because you are winging it. You are trying to do everything yourself and hitting a ceiling. Your revenue is capped at your hours. You are trading time for money with no leverage. You are building an expensive job, not a business. And your business feels like a trap. So why should you listen to me? I have one rule. I never repeat the same task more than 3 times. First time, I do it myself. I figure it out. I make mistakes. I learned what works and what doesn't. And second time, I document it while I do it. I take screenshots. I write down every step. I turn it into an SOP. I note what took longest. I identify what could be delegated. And third time, I hand it off. Someone else runs it using my SOP. I reviewed the output output. I refined the SOP based on what they got stuck on. That's it. After the third time, it's no longer my job. It's a system. This is how I scaled my web agency to 9 people and 30 plus enterprise projects. I wasn't the best designer. I wasn't the best developer, but I was the best at mapping the work and turning it into operations that others could execute. This is how I run AI education to $50,000, $80,000 per month with a team managing delivery while I created content. I wasn't teaching every student personally. I built a system where onboarding, supporting, and content delivery run without me touching 90% of it. This is how I run execution sprint now. I built the system once, I document it, now my team runs client onboarding, weekly check-ins, and feedback loops while I focus on refining the curriculum and creating content. My best skill isn't building, it's mapping, turning chaos into systems, turning systems into SOPs, turning SOPs into delegation. And that's exactly what week 5 of execution sprint installs. I'm not teaching theory. I'm not teaching concepts. I'm teaching the exact system I use, the system that turns handcraft work into leverage operation. If you're stuck in chaos and you want to start building the system that gets you to your first client with structure, grab the 7-day market signal starter kit, hypothesis log, execution tracker, decision day scorecard, everything you need to force week 1 execution. Link is in the description. So what actually works? Week 5 of execution sprint, the productized layer. This is where you turn delivery from chaos into calm, from bottleneck into leverage, from expensive job into scalable operations. But let me be clear, this is not a standalone. This is week 5 of a 6-week sprint. Week 1 forces market contact. Week 2 build proof. Week 3 installs a closing system. Week 4 scales what works. Week 5 productized delivery. Week 6 builds the engine. If you skip to week 5 without doing the earlier weeks, you are productizing something that doesn't sell. That's the pointless. Week 5 only matters if you have a client do delivery to. That's why the order matters. Here's what week 5 installs. First, service map. You map your service into 3 repeatable stages. Every service has the same 3 stages: onboarding, delivery, feedback. And stage 1 handles onboarding, scope lock, asset collection, and kickoff system. And stage 2 handles delivery, quick win delivered fast, progress updates sent proactively, and proof captured automatically. And stage 3 handles feedback, clean offboarding, support boundaries, and referral engine. And delegation system SOPs so clear that 15 per hour virtual assistant can execute 80% of the work. This isn't theory. This is the exact structure we use inside sprint. By the end of week 5, your first client takes 40 hours. Your 10th client takes 3 hours. That's leverage. I'm not going to walk you through every detail today. That's what sprint is for. These are 6 SOPs in week 5, and each one takes about 60 to 90 minutes to build. But I will show you the structure and what each one contains, so you see this is real, not theory, a working system. And here's what makes this different. You don't build this alone. You use ChatGPT to help you build every single document. I will show you how that works. This is what we're gonna build. Productize the board, client board. You start by defining your core service statement, who you serve, what outcome you deliver, how fast, and what method you use. Then you break your service into 3 stages with 5 to 7 steps each. So fill this out, this input prompt, and then use this ChatGPT prompt, and then copy and paste your input prompt here, and then copy this prompt into ChatGPT. You will get like this: onboarding, delivery, and feedback, and then customize the ChatGPT's output for yourself. And step 3, build your productized Kanban board. Finally, you will make like my delivery system, and then build your client Kanban board. Your client Kanban tracks where each client is in the pipeline. If you have no clients yet, place yourself as tested client number 1. And then you will make each detailed sections SOP. For example, at onboarding section, you will make a scope and kickoff document, prevent the scope creep, set boundaries, and defines success, an asset collection checklist, and kickoff call script, and stage 1 onboarding checklist. At the end, you have a completion checklist with 6 items. If all 6 are checked, the client moves to stage 2, delivery. You build 5 documents. Document 1 is your pre-delivery planning checklist, and 7-day quick win system, and progress update system, a full delivery checklist, and proof capture kit. This captures proof automatically while you work. You are not asking for testimonials months later. You are collecting them as a part of your delivery process. The fourth SOP is your feedback system. system. This takes about 45 or 60 minutes to build. Most people forget this stage. Project ends, client pays, then silence. You build 3 documents only. Document 1 is your final handoff checklist, and then offboarding and support policy, a referral and video testimonial system. This turns happy clients into your sales engine. Again, ChatGPT generates this email templates for you. You just customize the detail. Just fill out your input template to my pre-built ChatGPT prompt. The 5th SOP is your delegation system. Now you have your service mapped and documented, but you are still doing everything yourself. This SOP teaches you how to hand off 80% of the technical work, and you equal CEO, not technician. Freelancer deliver 80% of work, you review 20%. You have time to sell. You can take vacations. You are building a system. Revenue increases, stress decreases. And you need a 6 document, job post, project beliefs, screening questions, test project, daily update template, quality control checklist. Fill out your input template like this, and then copy this entire prompt into ChatGPT. And here's my real example, thumbnail designer SOP. And this is real, not hypothetical. I'm going to show you one of my actual SOP, thumbnail designer master SOP. This is the exact document I used to hire, onboard, and manage thumbnail designers for my YouTube channel. Let me walk through the structure. Not every word, just the key parts you see, how this works in practice. Okay, before we start, one thing, do not waste my time and I will not waste yours. If you send me lazy AI generation thumbnails or low effort output, I will ignore you and I will block your email. This role is simple, but standard is not. I grow my business through my YouTube channel, and all of our traffic comes from YouTube. I run a 6-week consulting program for early stage AI founders. And inside this program, we teach traffic and conversion and delivery operations. So when you work on the thumbnail, you're not doing impacting traffic, leads, and revenue. And another important rule, this is not about making pretty thumbnails. This is about increasing CTR, click-through rate, and winning attention on the YouTube homepage. But data first do not mean low quality. So your work must look clean and high contrast and professional. For my portrait image, we use Nano Banana Pro, only Nano Banana Pro, not another model, not random AI generator. Reason is simple. We need high resolution and clean and realistic, detailed portraits that match our system. So I will provide you my example portrait image style, and you must follow it. I'm gonna add this to the here. So generate or prepare the portrait in Nano Banana Pro, then build composition in your design tool, not AI, like a Figma. This is my dashboard. I tried a lot of thumbnail before, so my eyes is really high standard right now. For example, this is not one image. There are a few type of layer like this. And look at this detail, clean skin texture and high resolution, and no weird AI artifact. If your portrait looks fake, low resolution, or inconsistent, it will be rejected. And these are our past thumbnails that performed well. Do not copy them. Just use them only to understand our audience and positioning. And this is competitors' thumbnails. Our goal is not to look like our old style. Our goal is to compete with these on the homepage. That means we'll evolve. We'll test new angles, and we will not stay comfort. Now here's the workflow. For every video, you will receive only a simple 3-line brief: video goal, core emotion, and forbidden. That's it. Your job is to translate that into thumbnails that win clicks. After you read the brief, you create 3 thumbnail options. Option A, similar, inspired by our past winning thumbnail. B, new angle. C, competitive. And we never count color changes or text swap. Each option must be a different idea. The submission form is a simple, just a 3 thumbnail image and 1-line explanation for thumbnail. And then share your Google Drive link. And base rate, starter plan, $20 per thumbnail. So 3 thumbnail per video, 60 per video. And 3 videos per week, 9 thumbnails per week, and 36 to 40 thumbnails per month. So $720 at least per month. Now performance bonus, we click CTR 7 days after upload. If CTR is over 10%, you get a $50 bonus for that video. If over 12%, you get $100 bonus for the video. We pay high performers. We reward results. And then internship growth path, $1, and month 2 is performance-based upgrade, estimate $1,000, and long-term designer stack, estimate $1,300. And then I will hire full-time designer. $4,000 plus USD according to your performance. Finally, before paid work, everyone must complete a simple pre-test. The test is one video, one thumbnail only, and plus a one-line explanation. The test video title is based on the topic, how to sell AI services with zero testimonials. And I got my first AI clients without testimonials or case studies. This is our alternative title. And here is our brief, one thumbnail needed. Also, I don't like an AI generated looking text. So use interfont and bold weight and clean and high contrast like this. Never use AI generate text. Okay, and if you understand everything, do the test project. You don't need to reply this my message, just show your result. If you cannot follow instructions, do not apply. Thank you. So let me bring this all together. 3 traps keeping you stuck. You're panicking through delivery with no structure. So every client feels like chaos. You're trying to do everything yourself, so your revenue is capped at your hours. You have no leverage, so you are building an expensive job, not a business. The solution, productize your delivery, then turn chaos into calm. Turn your handcrafted work into leveraged operations. Week 5 installs a system map with 3 repeatable stages. An onboarding system that locks scope and sets expectations. A delivery system that produces calm results and captures proof automatically. A feedback system that turns clients into referrals. A delegation system that hands off 80% of the work. By the end, your first client delivery takes 40 hours of chaos. Your 10th client delivery takes 3 hours of review. That's not cutting corners. That's building leverage. Remember, if you can't deliver calmly, you can't scale. Calm delivery becomes proof. Proof makes selling easier. Chaos creates bad words of mouth. Your skill is real, but if your system is imaginary, you will stay stuck. If you close this video and do nothing changes. That's not pressures, that's math. I put together the 7-day market signal starter kit. It's everything you need to force market contact in week 1 before you even worry about delivery. Hypothesis lock GPT, a 70 execution tracker, decision day scorecard. Because here's the truth, week 5 is meaningless if you don't have clients to deliver to. The kit gets you to week 1. Week 1 gets you clients. Then you productized. The link is in the description. Grab it now. If you're tired of carrying delivery and ready to build a system that scales, this is your starting point. Remember, your delivery should be calmer with every client, not harder. Stop learning, start executing.